Hello, and we should be live on Twitch with Uncanny Adventures Call of Cthulhu, the Wretched West. Hi, I'm Jeanette, I'm your DM, and I'm back with my wonderful group of investigators. Last time on our adventure, 2 weeks ago, the adventurers had found themselves inside the Owens silver mine, and they had gone in with some friends of the brothers who were concerned about their safety. They had found the brothers and their cousin and their friend, but things were not well, and the seemingly dead bodies of the brothers rose up and chased our investigators back through the mine. But that wasn't their only problem, as they had discovered that their comrades in exploring the mine were in fact not friends and planned to try to bury them inside. Surprise, surprise. So, the group escaped from the mine, dealt with these claim jumpers, killing 2 of them in the process, and seriously wounding one who nearly died if not for Jeremiah quickly coming to the rescue. But let's not forget, Jeremiah shot him. And Delilah, after an interaction with Elvin, one of the brothers, who actually still could speak, but something was definitely much more wrong with him, and he tried to collect one of the investigators as his new friend and take them back into the mine with him. Delilah decided to grab a bundle of dynamite from Jeremiah, who had decided to blow up the mine, and ran forward, tossing the dynamite in, and there was a great explosion.
She precisely placed it. She did not throw it.
This is true. She kind of rolled it with great precision. This is true. And then ran for her life. Hudson rolling down the hill behind her and running. Jeremiah ducking into the stable. Lucas also bolting and hiding behind some rocks. And then the mine exploded. It collapsed in. There was dust and debris everywhere. And as Lucas, Hudson, and Delilah picked themselves up, Delilah turned to see 2 figures walking toward her through the dust and debris. And in that moment realized that Elvin and the claim jumper Boggs seemed to be strolling toward her menacingly through the cloud of smoke. And she raised her gun and pointed it at the 2. So, before we get into that, let's say hi to our investigators and let them introduce themselves. So we'll start with Celts.
Hello, everybody. I am the Celts. I am playing Lucas, the nice, tiny little gunslinger who's probably going to get capped today.
And Jamie.
I'm Jamie. I'm playing Hudson Devereaux, the giant brick house who's a nice, easy target to hit, so he may be getting shot today. We don't know yet.
All right, and Dylan.
Hi, I'm Dylan. I played Jeremiah Brown, who's the man of God, who's not a part of this situation currently.
And Brooke.
Hi. I've been somewhat anxiously awaiting this because Jeanette likes to leave cliffhangers on my characters, or on my character, because she's done it twice now. Back-to-back sessions, but it's fine. I won't be here next week. She can't do that to my character.
Aw. So.
Or I guess she can, and I guess it'll wait a month to find the resolution.
Perhaps. All right. So, so the smoke is clearing as the breeze blows through. You have picked yourself up, Delilah, and you see these figures approaching you. Meanwhile, Lucas and Hudson, you two find each other in the dust cloud, and you sort of turn and kind of take in the situation. And you see, as the smoke clears, you look over and you see Delilah, but she has her gun raised and pointed directly in your direction. And it's like, and her face, Delilah, what's the expression on your face as you see these figures approaching you?
Probably white and drained of all color. And actually, her whole body's probably shaking. Like, at this point, we were talking about it after last session. She's run up and down the ramp to the mine, through the mine, got rifle butted in the chest. I think she's just shaking, and it's literally, I can't run anymore, so I'm going to take, like, one shot, because I know guns don't work, but this is all I have left in me to do.
All right, so Lucas and Hudson, as you see her arm coming up, what is your immediate response to seeing this and the expression on her face?
Lucas, I'm going to pull my gun, like, as soon as I see her gun come up, and spin around behind me, like, not even thinking that she's aiming at me at all. But, like, ready to put somebody down that's trying to get a jump on me. So I'll be drawing the one gun I have left and spinning around behind me, like, backwards. So my back's now to her.
And Hudson?
Seeing Lucas still do that, he's probably gonna not turn, but kind of sidestep. So he's kind of at an angle in a way, and just kind of put his hands up, still looking at Delilah, because he's just like, what is she doing? And doesn't want to, like, turn his back in either direction. So he's kind of just facing sideways.
All right. So, Delilah, you see Elvin draw his gun from his holster, but spin and put his back to you. You see Boggs, the big, burly, bearded man's arms go up in the air in the smoke. I want you to roll me a sanity check.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right. So, what do you do as you see these two figures? Elvin's back is now to you.
Uh-huh.
But Boggs, his arms are up, like he's looming up dangerously. He's made his figure so much bigger to you in the smoke.
Well, I said I would shoot. I think she's still shaken by Alvin.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to re-look up the damage if I hit. But hopefully I just don't hit. That's fine by me, really. It's okay. I didn't hit.
All right. So, Lucas, you spin around and you point your gun back into the smoke, and you don't see anything behind you. Hudson, you throw your hands up, and you see the gun, like, shakily go from you back to the back of Lucas, and Delilah fires, but the bullet goes wide. So, I need to know, what are all of your dexterities?
65.
Yeah.
60.
70.
50.
Good old Jeremiah.
Yeah.
All right, so Hudson, you see Delilah shoot at Lucas, like at his back while his back is turned, but she misses through all this smoke and debris. What do you do?
How far away is she?
She's maybe like 30 feet away.
He would kind of rush towards her.
Okay.
And, hopefully she realizes it's him and not Boggs, but, like, try to get close to her to just, like, he's not gonna, like, wrestle the gun away from her, but try to just, like, take it out of her hand.
All right, so Delilah, Boggs charges in at you and grabs for the gun in your hand. So I need you guys to make a pose. Well, if Delilah would oppose him taking it, I need you to make brawl checks to see who can.
I'm assuming she still assumes it's not Hudson.
You see the big burly Boggs running through the smoke at you.
Well, like hell, she's gonna not let him take her weapon.
All right. So
it's either that or draw a knife on him, but I think she'd rather have the gun that, like, she's been waiting for a while.
All right, so you guys need to make opposed brawl checks.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I would use a luck point, but that doesn't even matter.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna bother.
So Boggs rips the gun from your hand, and Hudson, you now have Delilah's gun, and she. What is your expression, Delilah, as the Boggs has now disarmed you?
I think she's still very, very tired. Like, I don't think it's, like, actually changed on her face, but I think it's gone back to more of a, like, I'm going to fight him because it's my life or his kind of a thing.
All right. Jeremiah, you see from your position inside the doors of the stable, looking out through the cracked door, you see these figures. The smoke is clearing even more, and now you have a clearer look, and you can see that Hudson has just rushed in and ripped the handgun from Delilah. You're not sure. You heard it. You watched her shoot, but you're not sure what she was shooting at in that moment because it was hard to see. What are you doing in there?
Well, I was gonna get Sancho and the other horses, I think. So I think he just is like, well, I think they have it handled, if anything. So he just keeps doing that.
All right. So you were rounding up the horses as you.
He figures if there is something that they're shooting at, we need to get away. So best to have the horses.
Excellent. All right. So, Lucas, you have spun around and looked behind you, and there is nothing there. And then you hear Delilah's gun go off, and out of your peripheral vision, you see Hudson rush in that direction. What are you doing?
So I'm kind of picturing it like that the shot probably like pinged off the rock wall to the side of me or something, to where almost in the same instant that I spun around to catch someone trying to get me, I then kind of was like, holy, like, he kind of like hit the ground on my side, like covering my head with everything. Like, what are you doing? Woman, you gone soft? What's the matter with you? I'm just going to start yelling back up the hill, like, what are you doing?
All right. What's that?
I was gonna say, I'd have to imagine she literally is at disadvantage for hearing, because even if she precisely placed it, lit, and ran, she only had 15 seconds.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
Had to have been stuck in the shockwave.
All of our ears are probably just ringing like crazy right now.
So you're getting just a little bit of this, like, woman, whatever, and it's broken up, and you're struggling with it, Delilah. Do me a favor and roll me another sanity check.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so
I guess this is as good a time of any for one.
Yep. So, Boggs had ripped the gun from your hand. Elvin spun back around and is yelling in your direction. You go for that knife for an instant, and then as you come up with the knife and look, you are looking at Hudson up close in your face, holding your gun.
I think, how close is he at this point?
Oh, he's right next to you because he came right up and took that gun out of your hand.
I think she does the, like, I'm not going to open my arms to hug you, but lean into your body, because I think she's just relieved it's not Elvin in Boggs.
He would probably, like, briefly put her gun in, like, one of his coat pockets and then just kind of put his arm around her and just be like, it's all right, you didn't hit him.
I'm so tired. Can we go back to town?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Do you need help walking? I could carry you.
No.
You hear from, as you turn around, you see in the tent door, hobbling out with his shotgun in hand, what's going on? And it's poor Jed, who's like all bandaged up. His hat's not even on. He left it somewhere in the tent, and he's looking around, his eyes kind of like wild, his hair disheveled.
Jed, sit down.
Fun. I'm gonna
all right
brush
then.
the dirt off of my clothes with my hat.
Jed puts his shotgun down next to the tent and sits in the chair by the fire pit. All right, I'll sit down.
Hudson's just gonna kind of start walking back to the camp. But like staying close to Delilah just in case like her body just gives out and he has to kind of catch her.
All right.
I'm going to stand where I was and let them pass because I want Delilah in front of me.
And
I mean,
they
that's
do.
fair.
You walk by, you get back. Delilah, you look as you pass, and you see Lucas looking maybe a bit disheveled from the rock kind of blowing up a little in his face where the gun went off and from the explosion. And as you guys kind of get almost to the little stable, you see the doors kick open, and Jeremiah's got all the horses kind of behind him, and he's coming out with the horses.
Y'all ready to go?
Oh, Jerry.
Just going to stare at him.
What?
Can I have some water before we go anywhere?
Somebody get Deadeye over here some water.
Hey, now.
She's thirsty.
Hudson will go try to find some water because I don't think he'd have like a canteen on him or anything, so he'll just try to find something.
All right, so you go in the mess tent, and you easily find like they got like a barrel of water in there.
He'll just he'll get a cup of it, but also he'll get a cup of it, take it out to Delilah, but then go back and try to find like containers to take some water with us.
And you find like water skins or canteens that you can fill to take on the road back with you. So, Jed looks back at the tent and says, If we leave him behind, I think I'm good enough if we want to keep going to find these 8 people. I'm doing all right now. Not too bad off. I just needed a little bit of a breather.
A little bit of a breather. You've been in there for how long has it been since he got shot? It's only been.
It's not been that long.
I think it's even been an hour.
I think Delilah will speak up and she'll go, I think we're heading back to town to resupply and come up with a plan other than to ride out into the woods to find the 8 people.
Where's Jed shot?
So he kind of got shot like in the upper like shoulder area.
I'm just gonna walk up to him and put a hand like right there where he shot, and are you sure you're okay to go? And just squeeze just a little bit, like not trying to hurt him, but
you see him get a little bit pale, and he's like, "I've had worse."
Mm-hmm.
I can do this.
You want to go chasing after 8 people, and you can't even handle my tiny little grip on your shoulder, there, partner?
Well, I'll be all right. I can handle it. And he kind of like you see his eyes go over your shoulder to where Delilah is drinking, and looks back at you.
Delilah's giving him a look like, no, we're going to town, and there's no more discussion about this.
He kind of looks down with a little sheepishly, and he's like, all right,
Yeah,
I'll do what y'all think is best then.
Dead men don't impress the ladies there, Jed.
Look, Jed, the options are either we take you to town or I'll just perform surgery on you now to make sure there's no bullets.
Are you have medical training, Hudson?
No. Not in the slightest.
Are you gonna put me in jail when we get to town, deputy?
Well, I'm taking you to the doctor first. Ain't that mean?
Oh, all right. Yeah, all right, we should go to town then. So you all collect your things. You still have one Melvin Clegg, who is critically wounded. He needs help. Even like if you put him up on a horse, he's like slouched over the saddle. You might have to lash him to the saddle so he doesn't just fall out, as he seems to be kind of dropping in and out of consciousness.
So Hudson,
Were we gonna bring him?
So Delilah's got a question for you. If I make it look like some animal claw marks, can we pretend I didn't kill him?
Well, I mean, he's not dead, so you didn't kill him.
No, but I that was my way of saying if I kill him, make it look like I didn't.
I mean,
Jeremiah puts him up on Sancho. Ain't none of y'all killing him. All right?
there's no guarantee he's even going to survive the trip back to town.
I ain't wasting time on medicine and knitting him up.
Well, you don't have to. I already did. And if the doc can't fix him up, then so be it. God will be his judge, and that's all that matters.
Or, the sheriff will be his judge.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the Lord will.
What?
Okay, but
Amen.
What are we gonna do with the dead one? Because isn't there, what's his face?
Yes, there is. So Boggs got taken back into the mine.
Boggs
And-
got eaten.
Yes. There was also Barkley. Yes,
He's dead.
he is dead.
I
Very
mean,
much so.
if we don't bring him back, we can say animals got him.
I mean,
Yeah, if we were all just a little bit slower, we would have been crushed in that mine
it's true.
if it were up to him. So I say we leave that body to decompose, feed animals, whatever nature's got called for it. But proper burial is not on one of the top of the things on my list to do for that soul right there.
No, sir.
Padre, what do
Father,
you
if you
think?
want to put him up there with the other guy on your burrow there,
Thanks, but
I ain't
no
gonna
thanks.
stop you.
You do also know that you have their 3 horses that they came in on, so you do have extra mounts.
Upgrade.
Yeah, horses we actually own instead of ones
Yeah.
we're renting.
Dylan is like, okay, but if we bring the body and they have bounties on their head, we get money for it. But we wouldn't know that. So I think Jeremiah would just be like, yeah, we can leave him, whatever.
I mean,
would
That's
Hudson
prayers
know
over his
something?
body. That's
are you
enough.
sure that's a good idea, Father? Or Padre? I mean, the last time you did that, they came to life.
Well,
So your concerns about bounties?
yeah. That's me, Dylan, as a player,
Lucas
not
is going to rummage in
Jeremiah.
the shed and find what I'm assuming is an axe of some kind in the shed.
Yes, they have like axes
You're gonna
and
take his
pickaxes
head
and other
off.
tools.
I will walk over to the body and remove the head with the axe.
Jed is sitting there, kind of slumped a little in the chair, and he looks over and he goes, "I mean, that's I guess that's the way to get a job done. It stops an argument right there about whether or not to take him."
So
And
You're taking that head on your own horse, right?
Yeah, it's only like 8 pounds. 9
Hudson,
pounds.
Hudson takes his hat off and is scratching his head, trying to think if this is actually illegal or not. He's just like, "Can we do this?" And then he realizes he doesn't care, puts his hat back on.
make a law roll for me, Hudson. Let's see if you know.
Please fail.
Look, I told you, I put no points into law on purpose.
I know. Oh yeah, Hudson. Yeah, this probably will work.
shoot.
All right, so you all collect yourselves. It is only you guys got up in the morning. It is only maybe a little before lunchtime once you get yourselves all packed up, and you do know that from here you could make it back to town within just a few hours. You're just maybe like 2.5 hours north of Pawheton. If you go back down and follow the creek back down again.
If worse comes to worse, we can always stay at Jed's place.
So you guys head out. You go back through the tunnel that led into this little valley. You come back out on the side of the cliffside where the trail leads back down, and you travel back down. Everybody make me listen rolls.
Something I'm good at.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
We all succeeded.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding. I spoke too soon.
That's medicine.
That's the wrong
Oh,
skill.
listen. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say, how do you have a 1 in listen?
My listen's real bad. I heard it. Well, I failed either one. So don't-
All right. So everyone else picks up on this before Celts, but you hear it sounds like a voice on the wind again. And you look around, and the 3 of you that succeeded, just roll me a spot hidden.
Is it the Viking again?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so Delilah and Hudson, you spot off in the distance on a different ledge than where you saw him previously. This helmeted, like, it looks like he's wearing like some kind of like metal chest plate that's glinting in the noon sun, and you can hear him like again sort of like yelling out into the wind.
We can't make out what he's saying.
Yeah, is it anything we can understand?
Do any of you speak any other languages beside English?
Oh.
Can I imitate sounds that I am hearing?
You can try to imitate sounds that you're hearing if you want to roll me an intelligence check to see if you can get them right.
I mean, I think Jeremiah would probably speak a little Latin.
I doubt it's Latin.
Yeah, I doubt it is too, but you know.
Well, I'm going to attempt this because I think it would be hilarious if... I feel like this is going to be like a Dory trying to speak to whales moment. But I guess maybe not.
Wow.
All right, so you start to try and sort of like go over it and say it again. So Jeremiah, why don't you roll me a language?
Oh boy.
To see if
Okay.
you can make out what she's saying.
Oh, I'm probably cursing all of us. It's great.
So, how would I do that? I don't have specifically a language skill.
There
Yeah,
is
you
one.
do. Yeah, you do.
It doesn't have anything in the.
It's your
thing.
education.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay. I'll enter that real quick. There you go. Yeah. Oh, of course.
All right, so you kind of like look at her, and you're, oh, I think I'm not sure, and then and Jed's like, that sounds familiar, but I can't really make it out.
Of course, it's German.
I think he said something about his name or something, but I don't know for sure.
Who are you all talking about?
And Jed'll point a shaky hand up toward like the edge of this like ledge, maybe like 80 to 100 feet off in the distance. And he's like, up there. And you see this armored gentleman standing there.
What the hell kind of town is this? I never in my life seen so many odd things.
I was going to say it's gotten a lot more interesting since we left town.
Yeah, I suppose none of you have ever heard of this fella up here. What is this? Part of the 8-Man crew or ghosties, or is this a new one?
Bug people?
Fun.
I don't know.
I don't think it's related to any of them, to be completely honest.
I don't know.
Does it look like he's acknowledged us in any way, or is it just ignoring us?
He is just, it looks like he is standing at attention. He may have some kind of like longsword that he's holding at his side, and he is just yelling to the sky.
And he's how far?
No, he's probably about 100 feet off. So over the wind, like, it's hard to hear him a little bit, but he is not speaking English, though.
Hey, partner! Hey!
He stops yelling and turns and looks down in your direction where you all are down below.
Ah, hell.
Tip my hat at him.
He starts yelling again in the same language as he was yelling before.
At us or at the sky?
Now at you.
I mean, have we learned to like not antagonize the crazy things that we see? Because this ends badly or poorly more often than not.
Somebody passed me a water skin.
Hudson will hand one over.
Hey, you thirsty? Or like slosh it around so that you can see water spilling out of the skin, like I'm offering it to him.
He stops yelling, and you see him look around at the ground, and then he finds some footing and starts making his way down the path. Kind of like a march step, like a soldier. and starts proceeding down, meandering toward you along the path.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Hudson's
lean
gonna
back.
hand Delilah her gun back.
Thanks. She'll
You folks
grab it.
keep an eye on my back. Okay, I'm gonna go see what this guy's all about.
I'll be careful.
Right up to meet him with the water skin.
All
right, so Lucas rides toward this armored gentleman who marches up and stops about maybe 30 feet away. So you get up to him, and he is in this kind of thin, long helmet that kind of like is a little bit angled with a brim, made of metal. He is wearing a metal chest plate, and you do see that he has a rusty sword that he's holding in his left hand at his hip. And as you ride toward him, he again starts talking to you in this language that you don't understand.
Very angry sounding language.
He doesn't sound as angry though, and he extends his right hand for the offered water skin.
I'll lean out and hand it to him.
He will take it, and he attaches it at his hip, and then he talks again at you.
You habla English?
He looks at you and shakes his head no.
I don't know, guys. He took the water. He's not hitting me.
I think Delilah will dismount her horse and walk up just on her own 2 feet.
He looks at you coming forward. He looks at the rest of the group, and he again like starts talking and gibbering on. Chet is like, I should know what that means. I think my mama used to speak that. But no, I'm not sure.
Does Jed have any? Well, no, Jed has no luck.
Never mind. My mom spoke a different language. I'm confused. I'm gunshot.
I think he said something about a king. I don't know.
Ain't no
Can we
king
help
around
you
here.
go somewhere?
Okay, so I think Delilah, is there a stick she can pick up?
Sure, there's definitely sticks lying about.
So she has some arts training. So I think she's gonna draw a crown and then like a stick figure man and point to that and be like, is that what you're talking about?
All right. Do you want to roll me an art to see how nice this drawing is?
I mean, sure.
Outstanding.
But my art is really actually dancing. So not super I mean, I guess you could do interpretive dance.
All right.
Please do.
Do you want me to roll just regular art? Because I did
Yes.
say she drew it in the ground.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll a d20. It's 5 or a d100.
Ooh. It's not a bad drawing. It's not, like you're definitely not going to get into a museum, but he looks down and he sort of like snaps to attention and like starts talking again, and Jed's like, "Yeah, I think that's the word king again." And then he shakes the water skin that you gave him, and then he points like at your bag and is like,
Oh, ooh. Delilah will dig in her pack. She's gonna get like hardtack or some part of her rations out of her bag and offer him the ration.
he will he kind of gives you a bow and then takes the rations and puts them in his pouch as well. And he looks around at the rest of you.
Is he just stealing from us?
I mean, if he's actually hungry,
Yeah, if he was hungry, he had eaten it.
maybe he's not hungry, but he has family.
So just so you know, now that you've gotten a closer look at him, he's rather tall but very thin. He's very sunburned, and he's much older. He's probably you think maybe in his 60s. He's got really long, scraggly white hair and a beard. He's wearing, underneath the armored chest piece, he's wearing a tattered white shirt. He's got dungarees on, and he's got like very like dilapidated, worn out boots. And then he's got the metal helmet and the breastplate and the longsword dangling at his belt.
Could I do like a history check on the armor and the sword?
I
Sure.
really wish I would have grabbed a pair of the Owens brothers' boots out of their tent right about now.
28.
So looking at these, the armor and the chest plate and the sword look like what you have read about as Conquistador armor.
Oh. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, so and it's very strange because this is something that would maybe come from very much further south.
We're in like the Dakotas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, geez, oh my god. Okay.
So like he's wearing, so he has the armor on, but everything underneath is like normal looking clothes.
Yeah, they look like normal, like everyday wear, like someone from town might wear, or someone out, just traveling on horseback would wear.
Now that we're closer, does he look familiar in any way? Because there was someone else who was missing, wasn't there? Or am I making that up?
I don't think there was anyone else that was missing that you knew of.
Oh, I was thinking of the Harry Doran guy who they say is a ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this guy definitely is corporeal. So,
well, they're all crazy, so they could think he's a ghost.
Possible.
Does he look like Harry Doran?
He doesn't look like what Harry was described like, and he seems like he's too old to have been Harry. Unless Harry didn't die and he's actually just been living in the mountains all this time.
Possible.
Possible.
Well, if he's talking about a king,
We have extra horses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
do.
We could bring him back to town.
Delilah will attempt to gesture to him to like come with us and point to a horse.
He looks at the horse, walks over, inspects the horse, kind of takes the reins over the top and like walks it back to where he was standing before and nods at you.
No, hold on there. Water and some beef jerky, that's fine, but you ain't taking that whole horse right there, son.
Come.
You get on that horse and come with us.
With us.
We're gonna go. You come with us to go.
He salutes you with the sword and puts it in its scabbard, and he puts the reins back over and gets on the horse and kind of turns it around in a circle and then nods at you again, and he turns as if to go the other direction.
Can Delilah try to grab out for the reins?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna move in close to him and just kind of be like, it's okay, and reach for the reins myself.
Oh no.
So when you do, he looks like he gets a little bit nervous about you reaching for the reins, and
I'm gonna keep eye contact with him and say, it's okay.
why don't you roll me a persuasion check, and Delilah, if you want to roll one as well to try to calm him down.
Yes, because this is actually something I'm good at. Did I?
Totally.
You best be feeling lucky I helped.
Yeah. So he looks at Lucas, and you see him like he looks like he's about to spur the horse on, even with you coming up close. Like and his left hand goes back to the sword, and then he's Delilah coming toward him, and he kind of, you see like the expression kind of change, like, oh, there's the lady here. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to, injure the lady who's coming closer. And he starts talking again in just a fast, like, and you guys are just like, Jeremiah, you could try to roll me another check to see if you can pick up on anything he's saying.
Oh Lord. Okay. No.
Oh no. You
That's
can.
like
Finally, Chad.
So Jeremiah, you completely lose the course of the what he's saying very quickly. But Jed's like been sitting there like muttering to himself, and he's like, oh, he's saying something about he serves the King of Spain, and he thanks you for your donations to the King and Queen, and he's gonna be on his way now with those donations.
Well, like hell he is.
Can you speak back to him?
Yeah.
I can try to muddle my way through it. I haven't spoken it since my mama passed when I was about 5, but...
Come as close as you can to you can't have the horse.
Or come with us and we'll get you back to Spain.
Well, let's start with making sure he doesn't take our horse.
I mean, it's not ours. I don't care what happened to Boggs, the Owens brothers' friends. They're jerks.
So Jed goes over and he attempts to express to him that the horse was meant for a free ride back to town and not for keeping.
Just taking.
And
Jed.
And the gentleman smiles and nods and kind of like pulls on the reins like he'd like to take the horse to go now.
This was not Delilah's brightest idea. She's had a lot of those moments lately.
Maybe we should just let this gentleman go back to what he was doing.
I feel like if we could get him back to the train, we might actually be able to get him back to Spain.
Jed, what language did you say he was speaking?
German?
Well, why is he speaking German if he's serving the Spanish people?
Why is he wearing armor from like 300 years ago?
I could try to ask him. Do you want me to ask him?
He's obviously batshit crazy, and he just took our horse.
Yeah.
Delilah hasn't let go of, like...
Yeah, we're still holding on to the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
God, you people.
I mean, Delilah's kind of like... He'd get more help if we could take him to town, but I guess if he doesn't want to go...
We don't know if he can help us do anything.
I mean, he looks like he might be an able fighter.
Might be helpful against the Bigfoot or the mosquito
The
people.
bug people.
Bugs, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's dressed like someone from town. What that armor's making him all goofy.
Ask
He
him if
got
he...
into some of that sap liquid stuff and went all mind crazy.
Ask... Can you attempt to just ask him if he understands English and if this is just all an act? That he doesn't understand us?
Sure. I'll give it a go, Delilah.
Come on, Jed.
Dude, Jed.
He mutters his way through some stuff, and the gentleman responds to him, and Jed's like, "I think I got that his name's something Zimmer, but I don't think he got the rest of what I was saying."
That's not even a Spanish last name.
That's a German name,
confused.
yeah.
I don't know.
Do we have rope?
You guys probably do have plenty of rope.
Because here's my idea. If we tie rope to the reins and tie the horse to another horse, he has no choice but to follow.
Or he'll get 2 horses.
Or he'll cut the rope.
Like no, like to one of the horses that we're riding.
Oh.
Jed, what did he say he was doing? Collecting donations for the royalty of where?
If I got it right, it sounded like he said something about for the King of Spain.
Can you try to tell him that there's a receptacle box in town that collects the things for the king?
The Goodwill box.
Or tell him the King of Spain is in town and he needs to come with us right away.
Oh.
There you go.
All right, let me give that a shot.
Any of my ideas.
Come on, Jed.
He says something else to him, and then he says, and you see the guy's getting a little agitated now, and Jed says, I think he just might have called us savages. I don't think that he's enjoying the conversation as much as he was.
Well, let's just let him have the horse.
Oh, what? Yeah.
Actually, Delilah's going to try to communicate in pictograms one more time.
Oh no.
She's
Okay.
going to play Pictionary again. And she's going to draw a bunch of houses or buildings that kind of look like a town or a village and an arrow back towards town. And she's going to say, if you need anything, town is down that way.
He looks at your pictures. He looks back where you're pointing. And he kind of like nods. And then he points back toward the hills the other direction where he came from. And then points at the horse and like points again. Like, I'll be going that way.
At least
All
he
right.
understood. I think he understood.
What do you all want to do with this guy? You want to let him go, or you want him coming with us?
I don't think he's armed.
I don't know if I feel comfortable taking this gentleman along with us. He seems to have his own thing going on at the moment.
Law dog?
We found him at like the same place, right?
It's not exactly the same place. You're a little bit further up the trail than you were last time. Like he's kind of moved around since you came in here.
Well, I mean, Jed's in no condition to deal with this. We got to get him to town. And we kind of know where he is, so we could just come back here at some point and
It's true.
see what's going on. That's just my opinion.
Just trying to think of.
Before he goes, Delilah, could you try and make a drawing of like these ape men and see if he's heard anything about that? he seen
Sure.
him?
If he's one of them,
Well, if he's one, I don't know. Can ape men turn into conquistadors?
He might be
Well,
an enemy.
but what if he hangs with the ape men?
Well,
Well, we
Like
want
has
the
been
ape
brought
men.
into their tribe.
that might not be a bad thing. He could be RN. You know?
Yeah, we
I
want
think
the
she
ape
will
people.
try to draw a little bit more detailed human again.
All right. He watches what you're drawing.
And she maybe plays a little bit of charades as well.
He kind of like watches you
All
and you see him look amongst everyone else and he looks back at you. Just like he thinks that there might be something a little off with you.
Of course.
I was a pretty lady until you all had me act crazy. Gotcha.
Well, it was nice meeting you, sir.
Zimmer.
He says in very broken English he says, "Goodbye. I go."
What? Take
Can
his
Delilah reach up her hand to shake his hand? Or in like a gesture to shake his hand?
He will actually, instead of shaking your hand, he takes it underneath and he like leans in and will kiss you on the back of the hand
Oh.
like a courtly gentleman.
This is. Delilah can't even process this, considering they've been gone for like 24 hours and all of the crazy stuff. She's just like,
This might as well happen.
yep, this is the thing. This is my life now.
Hudson's gonna look at Jen and go, I thought you said he couldn't speak English.
I didn't think he could. Maybe he's just copying something we all said.
You go now.
He will nod and he will if you let go of the horse, he will try to turn it to leave with it. If no one stops him.
I ain't stopping him.
We know where to find him.
You go, bud.
And he rides off with the horse, the helmet on his head, sitting proudly, cantering away. You hear the clinking of the sword against his like saddle. And then as he gets like just to the rise and he's about to disappear, he turns, he draws the sword and salutes you again, and then rides away.
I have a feeling we're never seeing him again.
Probably not. Oh, Aegison.
I don't think any of us should say anything about that gentleman right there when we get back.
hold on. I think we should have a conversation about that because I don't think we can repeat most of what we've seen at this point. Ape men. Well, okay, maybe we can confirm that we saw ape men. People already think the ape men exist.
People are going to think we traded one town crazy for 4. No offense, Jed, but they're going to think that all of us come back talking about.
That's why I'm saying we should just not say anything.
All right,
Exactly.
Here's our story. We went to Jed, we found him, we brought him back. We swung by the Owen brothers. We found this one, and he's going to point at Clegg. And the other 3 had killed the Owen brothers, so we're bringing them to justice.
Hey, wait, wait a minute. We didn't kill them. They were dead when we found them.
Did I ask you?
Do I have to cut your tongue out? Because I'll do it.
Ask.
No, but they, honestly.
I will cut your tongue out.
Well, but honest, like, my brother went up there first, and when he didn't come back, that's when we went up there looking, and that's when we found them all dead, including my brother. My brother was dead too.
Yeah, and so are your other friends too.
Well, yes, they made some poor life choices.
Look, he's going to point at Barkley's head hanging there. Do you want that to be you?
I was just going to cut his tongue out, but okay.
I would prefer not to be the head on the side of a saddle.
Then shut it.
All right, I'm just saying we didn't kill them. We didn't
You
kill them
try
boys.
to kill us. How about that? You try to kill a deputy.
The
I mean, in my
tongue cutting out
defense-
part might not be a bad idea because as soon as he starts talking, telling people the preacher shot him.
That's right, that man of God right there. But you know what? I wouldn't say anything against that man. That man saved my life after he tried to take my life. That man had a change of heart right there, and he's not a terrible man. Preacher.
Well, thank you. I tried.
I mean, I can make sure you don't say anything by cutting out your tongue.
I would prefer to keep my tongue in my mouth.
Then I'd prefer you shut your mouth.
All right, just saying we didn't kill them boys.
Well, you
Hey,
realize it's 5 against 1, Clegg.
I do
And don't
realize
forget-
that I am on the short end of the stick in this situation. Yes, though my math is not that good.
You did also technically try to kill the deputy sheriff of the town.
I mean, technically, Boggs tried to kill the deputy sheriff. If I was,
Well, you're with him. You're an accomplice.
well, I can't control the decisions that other people make, sir.
You were up there trying to blow up the mine with him.
I didn't try
With
to.
us.
Wait, no, y'all blew up the mine. Boggs was just trying.
You were trying to knock it down
Well, yes, Boggs was trying to knock it down. I was.
and trap us in there.
I
And you were there and you were shooting at us.
don't know if I ever fired a gun, sir.
All of us
Probably
here
didn't
is
have
going
a
to say you did.
You are
And how do you
outnumbered.
blame him? And he's going to point at Jed.
Wait, what?
All
Yeah,
of us here are going to say you were shooting.
Jed got
This is how
shot.
it goes.
Somebody shot him. Must have been you.
Wait.
I feel like this is kind of like a Hans shot first moment.
It is. Hudson is fully trying to confuse him at this point.
He's definitely like, you see him like trying to think about it, lashed to
I
his
shoot him?
saddle. He's like,
He's like, did I shoot?
Oh.
I don't remember. I mean, I don't. Did I shoot that man?
You did. We all saw it. Jed, tell him.
Ched just looks at you and is like, "Yeah, you shot me good right there." and Clegg's like, "Well, I'm very sorry, sir. I did not realize that I had wounded you in such a way."
All right, so remember, you're going to shut up when we get to town.
He just leans over his horse.
Only person who has to hear your confession, Mr. Clegg, is the good Lord. So,
And the sheriff.
well,
That might be good too.
All right.
in this life, yes.
Oh, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. So you guys continue on your way toward town.
Mhm.
And you don't find any thing that really hinders you as you travel. Now, you have a couple of choices for traveling, Jed can tell you. You can either stay in the hills and it'll take a little bit longer, or you can go back down to the creek and the land is a little more easy for the horses and you'll make better time, but you're much more out in the open.
I mean,
I mean, I'm opposed to being in the open anymore.
Hmm.
One of those bug guys could just go grab us.
It's true.
But I also don't want to steak all day.
Have we seen any of those things out during the day?
You
Yes.
have not. You've seen them during the day. You haven't seen them since you encountered the one by Jed's claim.
But we also figured we pissed him off.
Which we probably did.
I mean, if you killed one of my friends, I'd be angry too. So,
Well, we don't know if we killed it.
That's true. We don't.
we severely maimed it regardless.
We
If
would
you
never
attacked-
kill. Maim or seriously injure, but never kill.
Well, here's the question then. Those things are coming after us pretty much regardless, right?
Correct.
If said bugs come after us, find us, kill us, do you want the better chance of people finding us and burying us proper? Or you want us out in the boonies where we're going to be food for some critters or carried off to some or decompose out in the sun?
I feel like there's a third option. I'd prefer neither of those.
Well,
I prefer not to die.
naturally.
I mean, if I die, Minnie's gonna kill me.
I personally vote for the easier on the horses route because boss here, he's had a rough couple days.
So do I, actually.
He's
If-
not the only one of us who's had a rough couple of days.
We'll take the easy path. It's fine.
Yeah, if these critters are, trying to stay secret, I mean, faster we get back to town, the better. No.
Yeah, we'll take that way.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Jed will help to show you the way. Who else is going to help Jed get yourselves back down to this creek and heading back to town? Who wants
I
to
don't
take
know.
point?
Anybody?
I mean, I guess I will.
Okay.
I was gonna say I'm not a rider and I don't have any sort of survival natural world type skills, so I'm better following.
I do.
I will bring up the rear so I can watch for anything that might try to ambush us.
All right. So, Hudson, do you want to roll me a survival or natural world check there? Or track? You could do, because you could track your way back the way you came.
I would prefer a track
Okay.
on this one. Nope.
Oh dear God!
All right.
Look, my natural world was a 10, so I was going to fail that one.
That's true.
Mm.
All right. So, Jed is going to try to be assisting this.
Oh, no.
He's not.
Come
also,
on, Jed.
He's also not very. Oh, no.
Oh dear
no.
God!
All
The
right.
two, I
We're
had a
so
better.
fucked.
I had a better chance. Jesus.
I just want to roll a natural world just to see what happens. I'll probably pass it.
Sure.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
A lot closer.
That's close, though. Pretty close.
All right. So you all head out with Hudson and Jed up close up in the front. Jed, he may be struggling a little as he's maybe a little bit sort of delirious from having been wounded so seriously in that gunfight. Hudson, I'm not sure exactly what your excuse
is?
might be.
I'm just dumb.
So
Yeah, we elected you to be our deputy sheriff.
this is
I
true.
wasn't elected. I was appointed. There's a difference.
I thought there was an election. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
So you.
I'm just not familiar with this particular area is all.
It's fair.
Like, a couple miles outside town.
It-
I mean,
That's-
alright.
So you travel for a while, and you do eventually find the creek, but Jed kind of looks around, and he kind of looks up in the distance, and he sort of scratches at his chin, and he's like, I think we came out much further north than I planned. I think that we may have gone off course by an hour or so.
Oh, god damn it.
He's like, and he points toward the big peak up to the right, and he's like, that's a Humboldt Mountain up there, and we should have come in very much south of that. And he points a little to the south, and he says, because my claim is down in that direction over there. down there at the bottom of Granite Peak. So,
How the hell did we get so lost?
I'm not sure.
Boys.
It was Jed's fault.
Well,
I was following him.
I mean, there was this fork in the path where I thought I'd go left at first, but then I decided that right looked a little better, and maybe I should have been going left the whole time.
Jed, I swear.
Y'all want to borrow my navigator? And I'm going to hold up the head.
I feel like he could get us back far better than our actual navigators.
Hey,
I could have done a better job.
I didn't hear anyone else volunteering.
Now that you've got all these landmarks pointed out, Jed, you think you can get us where we need to be?
Well, now that we got this creek bed to follow, we should be fine following Muskrat Creek all the way down.
Do we still have enough time to get there before dark?
Oh, we should be all right. We should be there in less than 2 hours now. And I mean, aside if we stop to have a bite to eat, as we did not stop for lunch before we left. I think.
Are you hungry, Jed?
I mean, I'm hungry most of the time, sir.
We can have a good dinner when we get back if.
I mean, full disclosure, I found a bunch of gold and silver. Dinner can be on me when we get back. Or rather, on the Owens brothers.
Oh.
Is it theft if they're walking dead?
No.
Jed looks at the lawman.
No, we're good. We're fine.
Okay, good.
Well, all right then. Well, yeah, I say we take the creek and we should be fine.
Because otherwise I was going to suggest we stop at your place again tonight.
I say we just power through.
Okay.
Because his place is where all the bugs.
The bugs are, yeah. They know where that is, for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, so you guys take the stream bed, and what is your who's leading? Who's where in this order of traveling?
I
the
am
stream
not
bed?
leading anymore because I got crap for leading last time.
Well, I have 10 in track and 10 in natural world, but let's do it, boys. Can't get much worse.
I mean, I have a 60 in
I've
track.
been rolling very well tonight.
I did roll a 1.
I did roll a 1 tonight. I think Delilah will ride up to the front.
All right. Who's where are you keeping Clegg? Like in the whole pack of the thing? Are you
In the middle, always.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Sancho's like tied to one of the horses, and like I'm riding that horse, leading it.
Oh, you're riding a horse?
You betrayed
Aw.
Sancho.
Sancho was good to you.
I know, but I trust Sancho, so I figure we put the wounded person on him because I know he's like an easy ride. You know?
That's fair.
I get it.
And is Lucas bringing up the rear, kind of keeping an eye on things with his extra set of eyes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you proceed south along the Muskrat Creek. You pass the trail where it led up to Jed's camp after maybe 15 minutes or so. So you weren't too far north of Jed's claim. And you continue south. Now, you know, as you go further south in this direction, this is where you also found some of them creepy trees that looked like they had been exploded from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you travel, and you travel for about an hour, everybody roll me listen checks.
Oh fuck.
Hard success.
Hard.
All right.
The two of us again.
Yep.
That's fair. All right. So as you're traveling,
The ones who were closest to the dynamite explosion are hearing the best.
Yeah.
It gave them super hearing.
It's like Babon.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
it's
I was gonna say it blasted the earwax out of my ears.
exactly. So yes, as you travel, you the two of you think you hear off to the west. You're not sure how far. It's not very loud, but it almost sounds like a buzzing, like maybe
fuck.
bees.
Stop. It.
We need to run.
We're going faster. Let's go faster.
What's
Let's
up?
move faster.
You remember the bugs that go bzzz at us? Yeah, I can hear one.
I'd prefer not to like stab at one again, or shoot at it.
I'd rather not shake hands with Beelzebub either. So
All right, so Hudson and Delilah, you're gonna tell everybody to pick up the pace. There's something coming in the woods.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So when you do, I need everyone to make ride checks for me.
Fuck, I knew it. I was
Oh,
waiting.
I'm not.
Right.
25.
I'm feeling everything.
Bam!
Can I
Nice job,
can I
lawman.
spend 20 luck?
I mean,
Why
yes.
would you do that? It's not worth it.
Only one.
You know, I don't think it's worth it either, so I won't.
If it was like you
If it was
rolled
like
a
10 or
10,
15, maybe.
yeah.
All right.
That's like the
Hudson just
entire...
start. Sable and Hudson just start taking off.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jed.
All right.
Oh no, Jeff. Oh no, my boyfriend.
All right. So you guys, at the behest of Delilah and Hudson, you spur the horses on to put some distance between you and these sounds. And as you start to ride, so I'm gonna have Jeremiah roll me a dexterity as you are leading Sancho, and you are trying to pull two horses, and this horse is not familiar to you, and
not.
it stumbles in the creek bed, and you feel like yourself starting to fall from the saddle as it does.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh. All right, so yep, so Jeremiah, you get kind of kicked off of this horse and you go
What?
tumbling into the drink. And lose your grip on the reins.
Yep.
So I imagine you had like Sancho kind of like tied around the horn of the saddle of your other horse. So
Yeah.
your horse, Sancho, and Clegg, who had kind of passed out over the top of Sancho at this point during the ride,
Should have just left.
they kind of go charging off into the tree line, disappearing from sight rather quickly. Meanwhile, Lucas, you are at the back as this happens, and they go down. Roll me a dexterity just as you have to try to maneuver to get out of the way. Also, don't forget, some of you have natural 20s.
Yeah.
Dylan,
You
Brett,
I forgot.
and Kelts. I just thought of that too.
I used all of mine at 20, so I'm out.
I executed a guy. I used both of mine last session.
I'm gonna hang on to mine until I really know I need it.
Nice.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so Kelts, you also, so in trying to avoid the Padre who has fallen into the water, you come out of your saddle as well, and as you do, you kind of hit on the ground and sort of roll, and your horse also, Boss, also kind of follows after the other two horses that are running away into the trees. And Hudson and Delilah, you have kind of like taken off ahead, like you kind of kick your horses forward, and Jed.
Oh no. No.
Oh, Jetty.
Yeah, so Jed also goes right off the back of his horse, Calliope.
Do any of them make a noise?
Oh yeah, you probably hear a cacophony of noises.
Because I think Delilah
You hear splash.
goes back to assess the situation.
All right.
Shouts, neighing, splashing.
So three of you are
Ruffling.
in the creek, and Delilah and Hudson, you are on horseback still, and the other horses are disappearing into the trees.
I'm gonna be like yelling at the creek, and then occasionally looking up and yelling into the tree line about how Boss is a yellow-bellied coward and get back here. What's the matter with you? Anytime something's off, you go running off. Get over here.
Not it.
And then check on. You all right, Jeremiah?
I think so. I've got a little water in my. Oh Lord.
We better go get these beasts. One of them's carrying one of your rescues.
Oh Lord. Okay. Yeah. Oh Lord.
All right, so Delilah,
Timing
you
out.
turned around.
Okay.
Hudson, what are you doing, Hudson?
Probably takes Hudson a while to realize that everything happened because he really started to book it. since I got a hard on the ride. And then he gets like far enough away, just looks back over his shoulder and just goes, "Oh man, he's gonna kill me," and turns around.
All right, so Hudson, so you get a little ways away. So Hudson kind of goes out of sight for a minute or two, and is like, he disappears like around the next bend of the creek. So while that's happening, the rest of you are kind of in the creek bed. Delilah's the only one still on horseback, and you can hear the sound of your horses getting fainter as they run away.
I think her goal is to actually try to round up the horses so that we don't have to ride double saddle.
Okay.
So whatever it's going to take to do that, she's going to attempt to chase after them and round them up.
All right, so when you turn around, you can use the same ride check you already had. So you spin around as you watch over your shoulder. Hudson disappears. You see everybody kind of in the drink. You hear Lucas yelling, kind of screaming into the trees, yelling at the creek, and you see the horses go. So you're going to turn and ride after them into the tree line?
Yep.
Excellent. So you guys watch as you pick yourselves up, and Delilah disappears after your wayward horses. And you're left with Lucas, Jed, and Jeremiah in the stream bed. What are you three going to do?
It looks like she has it handled.
Or so we think.
Yeah.
I'm going to head out for the last direction I saw Boss go.
All right. So Lucas climbs out of the creek and goes in that direction. Jed, it takes him a little extra effort to get himself up because he's got one kind of good arm. The other is a little bit useless. But he will slowly, like, kind of push himself up and kind of charge after Delilah and Calliope into the trees.
Lord.
Leaving Jeremiah in the drink.
I think Jeremiah will just kind of like watch him go and be like, "Oh God, Lord, protect us." Grab his crucifix and just put it in between his hands and pray a little, like on the edge of the creek.
All right. So, meanwhile, Hudson, you had ridden ahead. You had heard the sound off into the trees. Make me another listen roll.
Oh no. Ooh, nope.
All right. So you like kind of like turn back. You see no one there. You turn. You ride back toward where the group was, and you sort of listen. You don't hear the sound of the buzzing like you did a moment before. You do kind of hear in the distance the clattering of your traveling companions, like in the creek, and then like the footfalls in like the crunch of the rocks and stuff. When you come back around the corner and you just see the back of Lucas running into the trees, followed by a limping Jed, and then maybe a doused Jeremiah just kind of going behind them, shaking himself off.
He's gonna ride over to Jeremiah, because is Jeremiah just like standing there, or did he go after the horses too?
I think he probably stayed there. But yeah.
Okay. He's gonna ride up to Jeremiah, who I assume is probably like 10 pounds wet. Just like,
Yeah.
I was just gonna be like, "Oh, come here," just kind of grab him and try and pull him up onto the horse.
Like a
Like grab him
sad
by the
cat.
scruff of the neck,
Yeah.
and then slowly start to head towards where he heard where everyone ran off, because he doesn't want to like spook any horses.
Okay.
So he's gonna take his time to pick his way over there.
All right. So, Delilah, you turn your horse and you rode off into the trees after the escaping horses and the one somewhat unconscious figure of Clegg on the back of Sencho. So as you go after them, just roll me a spot hidden check as you're charging through trying to catch up with these creatures. Ooh.
Ooh.
All right, so you ride through, and you can see like Sancho kind of being pulled by this horse that was collected, and you're sort of following them along, and then you realize, oh no, that buzzing sound, it got louder as you're heading in here. And you can see kind of up ahead, like, there's an area of those splintered trees.
Oh, no.
Do me a favor and just roll me a power roll, please, as you ride in here. And you see the horses kind of, like, spin and sort of, they look like they get startled by something.
Mm.
Okay, it's a 65. I got this, guys. I don't have this. Oh, apparently I really have this. Okay. I surprise myself on occasion.
All right. So you don't see where the buzzing's coming from when you ride in and look around, but for a second, like, the sound of it's almost like a comforting sound. And you kind of look up like, oh, and then you're like, nope, 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 nope. And as you kind of shake it off and look into the clearing, you see a shape come out of a tree and sort of fly down toward the slumped figure on Sancho.
I'm not that sad about that fact. I'm more sad that we lost 5 horses. Or we had our 4 plus Jed's and 3 others. So that'd be 8 horses total.
Well, we lost one because we donated one to the king and queen.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, part of me kind of wants to stop my horse and turn around and just be like, nope, 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 nope. So I think that's gonna be my decision. I don't really want to mess with the fly, and I really don't like Clegg, so it's not murder. I can actually say an animal got him now.
That's true. Yeah, and so as you see it sort of swoop down and it kind of like the sun hits it every once in a while through the trees, you see it grab hold of the back of Clegg, and it like pulls him up. And for just a second, Sancho's little hooves kind of come off the ground too, and it lifts, and then the rope snaps.
Yes.
And Sancho sort of drops back down the foot or so that it lifted him up. And
The Lord is real.
and you just just out of your peripheral, as you just spin the horse and start to ride out of that clearing, you see the form of Clegg sort of slumped in this thing's pincers, and it's sort of flying away toward the west with him.
Well,
That's one way to deal with a problem.
And
it sure is.
and in that moment, the horse is startled by this bug. As you ride in that direction back, the horses sort of all charge back behind you and are running in the other direction. So, Lucas, you ran in this direction, and as you're running through the trees, still kind of yelling, all of a sudden you hear the heavy, like, hoof beats of a horse coming in your direction, and then you hear, like, there's more than one, and you just kind of see Delilah breaking, like, into view through the trees, riding toward you.
She's a badass. Just remember this.
So at this point, do I only hear the horses coming and I can see Delilah on horseback?
Yes.
So I'll slow down, catch my breath. Do you see Boss back there? I'm looking for Boss.
I mean, I think they're all behind me. I would hope you get out of the way.
I can't hear you.
Well, then she just keeps running.
So as
she's gonna try to avoid him as best as she can, but as for the other horses, good luck.
Yeah, so Delilah just full tilt keeps going by you as you're like, what?
It's like, hey.
And then you hey, and then you hear like more hoofbeats behind you, and you turn and you see all of the horses with Sancho bringing up the rear, charging in your direction.
I'm gonna try to yell at Boss real quick, like, you stop right there.
Do you want to roll me a
You son of a
persuasion?
bitch.
Do you want to roll me a persuasion for your horse with advantage since he is your horse?
I don't know how to do advantage though.
Do you use the white, like the grayed out one versus
Okay.
the green?
This isn't gonna be good.
Oh,
Oh,
you yell, "You stop right there!" And you like stand there like serious, and there's like a beat, and then a second beat, and you're like, "Oh!" As they're charging down on you, why don't you roll me a dexterity roll to see, or dodge? You can roll dodge to see if you can get out of the way of the running horses.
All right, let's see. Oh, what's that? Oh, half of my debt. I didn't fill it in. That's why.
Ooh.
I will fix that right now.
you do have the highest dex of us all.
I am.
All right, so you leap out of the way as the horses kind of charge, following Delilah back through the trees, and sort of like leave you lying there, kind of in a bush where you landed. You realize as you watch Sancho go by, he's got like a dangling, like torn rope hanging from his saddle horn, and he's just running, trying to keep up with the rest of them.
So I can't say I'm sorry for how this went down.
Yeah, they're coming.
And very shortly thereafter, Delilah and the horses sort of go rushing past the duo of Hudson and Jeremiah on horseback as well.
God. He's just gonna kind of look. Be like, I think your ass is getting away there, Jerry.
Yeah. You guys were like a little bit off the trail where Delilah comes through, so you just watch her go by toward the creek, and then there's like a beat or two, and then it's like like a parade of horses go running past.
And then another couple beats, you see clop, 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 clop as Sancho goes by. And Hudson just sighs and starts heading in that same direction.
All right, so eventually you do all find your way back to the creek, minus one claim jumper, Clegg, who is nowhere to be seen on the back of Sancho as you guys get back to the creek.
Technically, Delilah's claim now because she has the papers. Therefore, she does not feel guilty for dispatching of someone trying to jump her claim. Same.
Jeremiah doesn't even ask. He just like, can't fucking believe this. Let's go back to town. Whatever. Screw it at this point.
It's
all Delilah says to Hudson is, I swear to you, one of the bug people got him. I did not murder him and or leave him in the woods.
Leave who in the woods?
Exactly.
And-
Oh my god.
and then you hear a stick snap, and you turn, and you see Jed kind of come walking out of the tree line. I tried to keep up, but I had to sit down on a rock. I was a little winded.
I mean, that's understandable, honey.
It gets shot.
Hey, where's Clegg?
Who?
He points at Sancho. Where'd he go?
That's Sancho.
Nice to meet you, Sancho. Wait.
We'll talk about this later.
Come on, Jed. I know you ain't that stupid. Come on.
Let's see how stupid Jed is. No, he's not that
How
stupid.
stupid.
All the NPCs.
He's not that stupid. He just sort of like, oh, all right. But no, seriously, what happened to him?
Bug people.
Yeah, bug people got him.
His eyes go wide. He looks back into the trees. He goes over and like scrambles up onto Calliope, and he's like, "We should get back to town."
Oh, you think?
Yeah, we should get back to town now.
Which is why we took off running, which caused the entire problem to begin with.
All right. Well, maybe not as fast, but we should go. We shouldn't stay here if they're here. They're gonna
Jerry, you
They're
wanna
gonna
get
take
on
me.
Sancho.
Jed,
Yeah.
what do your bug friends do to people who they take?
Well,
I'm not sure I want to know.
well,
I do.
I don't know. When it came to me, they caught me spying on them.
Mhm.
And the next thing I knew, I couldn't move. and they were all like woo around me, and they were talking in my head, and they were telling me how uh if I didn't want to die right then and there, that they needed me to keep other people like me from getting in the way of what they were doing up here in the hills. So I had to find a way to put people off from being up and to the western side of the creek in that area so that they could go about their business undisturbed. And if I couldn't do that, that something terrible would happen. And if I ever betrayed them, they would kill me and that something terrible would happen. So, I mean, technically, I think I've betrayed them now. So, that something terrible is probably gonna happen if it hasn't happened already.
Hmm.
But they from what I got from what they were saying, I got the impression that the something terrible was that there would no longer be a town full of people to disturb them. So they got some kind of plan to do in everybody in Pawheton, which is why we should really maybe not go to Pawheton. But I mean, I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do, Deputy Sir.
I mean, I think it's time we resupply.
Mm-hmm.
And take a night in our own beds.
Mm-hmm.
Jed, I don't know if you know what I did this morning.
What did you do this morning?
While I ran up, I lit the dynamite that exploded the mine and then ran for my life. I, for one, want to sleep in my own bed tonight.
I mean, my bed's back up that way, so I won't be sleeping in my own bed.
Well, I don't really care.
All right.
Read the room, Jed. Read the room.
Yeah.
Besides, I'd like to get me my own handgun. And I already told you I'm buying dinner.
Well, dinner does sound good. I am a bit hungry.
I think we're all a little hungry and a little tired. So the faster we get to town.
Like y'all folk have people back in town you care about?
No. But...
Not really.
I mean, I have a wife.
Law dog. We should
have a
probably
wife.
go if you have any interest of getting word to your wife about what might be coming their way.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
All right, let's ride.
All right.
Yeah.
So you get everybody back on their horses, saddled up, and you ride back toward town. And you don't have any other issues for the rest of the trek down the creek. And it doesn't seem like the bug people have followed you, or if they have, you don't see any sign of them. And eventually you come riding in along the side of the creek. The first thing you see kind of as you kind of crest the hill, you can see just at the edge of town the shallow water saloon. It's a tent that's built as a saloon right at the edge. And you also see a couple other like houses that kind of sit toward the edge of town. And you can see it's later afternoon toward evening, and people are up and bustling about and going about their business. And as you guys ride in looking a bit disheveled and dirty, having dried out since your trip in the creek for those who fell, but just looking kind of road worn, you do get, some kind of like looks as you kind of go by, like questionable, like, what's going on there? But you have made it back to Pawheton safely. What do you want to do?
Hey, Hudson, where can I check up and see if there's any kind of bounty on this guy's head so I can get rid of it if we don't need it? Because,
I mean, you could just head to the sheriff's office.
so that's what I'm gonna do, because I'd like to get rid of the head if we don't have to carry it around anymore.
Yeah. Go to the jail. That's where the sheriff will be.
I think Delilah is going to go back to the Pawheton original.
Okay.
Probably to her room. Well, okay. Would it be reasonable for her to have medical supplies in her room? I guess this is me decision.
So you know that Jack keeps like certain things on hand because there are like bar fights and things that break out, and if they don't have to call the doctor, they'll tend to people themselves.
So here's what she's thinking. her sternum really hurts from where she got rifle butted to the chest. So she wants to give it some stability by wrapping her chest to ease the pain, and then she's probably gonna go have a drink. But that's a later her problem.
Okay.
That's a like, let's deal with the current issue. So if she has to go to the general store, I mean, she'd also like to get supplies at some point. Just general supplies for further travels. So I don't think she's short on money to do so.
I don't think she is very short on money either. She left town in one pay grade, and she has definitely advanced to a higher pay grade.
Yeah. That's why she can buy dinner.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what you would like to do.
All right, so Lucas is gonna split off as you all are passing by the jail and head in that direction. Delilah would continue on down the main road, heading for the Pawheton Original at the center of town. And what about Jeremiah and Hudson?
I think I'd go to the doctor because Arrow was there, right?
Yeah, that's where we left him.
Okay, I'd probably go there first.
Okay.
Hudson would go with him because I'm assuming I'm taking Jed to the doctor.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
Since he kind of got shot, so Hudson will kind of like gingerly transfer Jed onto. Well, no, he can stay on. His
He'll
horse.
ride Calliope over.
Yeah. Hudson will just escort him to the doctor.
All right, so Lucas, you arrive at the jail. It's a small kind of wooden building, it's kind of set on the main road, like just a little ways into the block. And when you go inside, you find sitting at the desk, the town marshal, sheriff Ricardo, Sheriff Mateo, and he is just sort of sitting, smoking from a cigar, and just sort of looks up when you come in, kind of cocks his head a little bit, and he's like, good evening, how's it going?
Well, see, sir, this gentleman right here, and I'm going to hold up the head.
he sort of like goes from leaning back in his chair, relaxed, kind of sits forward, and he's like, you seem to be missing some portion of that gentleman right there.
Well, it couldn't be helped, sir, I assure you. He was part of a group that had dastardly plans for my companions and I wanted to check to make sure there wasn't any kind of bounty out on him. So rather than lug his whole body back, which there wasn't much left anyway, I brought you just the head to show you that we had apprehended him, dead over alive.
He leans in and takes a look at this unfortunate fellow's head, and he says, well, would that be Mr. Barkley? He rolls around with Trapper Clegg and his crew. Is that who I'm seeing there?
Clegg sounds like it might. Yeah, it kind of rings a bell, but I didn't actually exchange names with him, sir, because he was trying to collapse a mine on us and was shooting at us.
Well, let me see here. And he gets up and he kind of walks over to like a bulletin board, and there's some signs and things, and there's some wanted posters, and you see him kind of flip through a couple of them, and he kind of pulls one off the board, walks over and holds it up next to the head, and there's this kind of sketch, and he's like, I mean, it looks fairly close to me. You say he was up at one of the mines trying to collapse it in on you then, huh?
That's what he was doing, all right.
I mean, he's wanted for claim jumping right here. Looks like somebody put out a $50 reward for his head.
Well, I brought back just that, so
Hell,
I don't know what you want me to do with this head, but I'd rather not have it attached to my saddle any longer.
Well, there's if you go up the road a ways, there's a gentleman who's raising some pigs. If you ride by, I believe if you pay him $1, he'll let you feed that head to his pigs, sir.
Well, that just sounds right disgusting. Thank you, Marshal.
You're very
And where would I
welcome.
go about collecting the bounty on this here head?
So that's gonna come out of we've got a little bit of a fund for the town. So let me see. And he kind of goes over. He leans in under the desk, and you hear him like turning on a safe, you know, and he kind of cranks it open, and he sort of counts out, and he will pay you. And he says, "There you go. That's an. I guess we have no more need for this wanted poster." And he kind of shreds it and tosses it. So
Much obliged, sir. Thank you. You can go back to your relaxing as you were.
now, according to this, he's got a couple fellows that two of them will bring in another 50 apiece, and the leader there, Trapper, brings in about $75. If you're out and about and you see them and you want to bring them in as well.
I will keep my eyes peeled.
All right then. And I haven't seen you around town, son. I'm Sheriff Mateo, and you are.
I go by Lucas. I am new here, and kind of trying to set my roots a little bit over at Jack Stratton's place.
You see like a kind of like interested expression come across his face. He's like, ah, yes, the Pawheton original there, yes. Jack is quite a character in town. He just you say you're new. I would say just keep your friends close and the enemies closer is maybe what you're doing with the situation with Jack.
Yeah, I know that all too well, Marshal. In fact, probably setting roots might be too strong of a word. I'm more than likely just passing through.
Well, be safe on your travels, and thank you very much for your service. This is one less dirtbag that I have to worry about bringing in myself.
Well, thank you very much for your money.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, and have a good night.
I'll kind of like twirl the head by the hair as I walk out the door.
You're twirling it, and a woman is passing by. She's like, "Oh!" She kind of crosses to the other side of the street, surprised, like, "Oh!" And meanwhile, so Jeremiah and Hudson, you part ways with Lucas, and shortly after arrive outside the doctor's little shop. He's got a little building. It's got like kind of windows in the front that are curtained, and it's got like a little door that's closed, and he's got just like a little sign over the top that's like, docks.
Hudson will get off his horse and kind of help Jad off, and then go inside.
All right. So when you walk up to the door and turn the knob, you actually like the knob like is locked.
Ah, shit.
Hudson's just gonna pound on the door.
You hear like from inside, it sounds like something gets knocked over, and you hear, "What in tarnation was everybody? Oh, it's knocking on my damn door."
Because you're the doctor.
Oh, hang on. He kind of comes walking over the door. You hear footsteps, and then you hear the lock turn. It opens just enough to see his face in the shadows, and it says, "What do you want, deputy? Deputy, what do you want, deputy?"
I got another patient for you.
He kind of looks through the crack at Jen. "Did you shoot him?"
This time I did not shoot him.
All right. And he kind of pushes the door shut, and he like undoes a chain, and he opens it all the way. And he's like, Bring him in. Put him over here. Have him here. So just sit yourself down right here, and I'll take a look at this. Oh, Padre. Hello, Padre.
Just checking up on your previous patient we brought in.
Oh, yeah, Pharaoh.
Pharaoh?
He's in the back over there. He's calmed down quite a bit since the altercation at the Pawheton Original, but I still have him. Just kind of keeping him kind of calmed down. Still working on trying to save that leg.
Ah, okay.
That's what I was about to ask.
That's good.
You wanna go say hello to him? He's over there. He might like a visitor.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Yeah, he's back there. Just watch out. He might. I don't think he'll bite anymore, but he tried a couple times.
Why not?
So the doctor will like take a look at Jed, kind of looks him over. And he's like, well, this is quite the wound that you have here. What all have you been getting into, that you get shot? I haven't heard about any shootings at the Pawheton or, Pennebaker's place today, so, and he looks at the deputy. What's this all about? Should I be expecting more?
Nope, this is the only one. The only one. Mr. Pound. We were checking up on them Owens boys, and there was some claim jumpers who took a couple shots at us.
Oh,
hit Jed.
That's terrible.
Awful.
How are did anyone else get injured in this situation?
No one that we care about.
How are the Owens boys doing? How's Elvin and the brothers doing?
Well, Elvin has a lot of friends.
Well, he's a nice boy. He's a nice boy.
Yeah, very affectionate, grabby.
And he kind of like pokes at the wound, and Jed's like, and he's like, I'm gonna need to get some of this shot out. And he kind of reaches over and gets his bag, and he kind of takes out, and he's sort of starts kind of like digging into the wound a little bit, and he's like, hang on. Takes a piece like a thick wood, and he's like, bite down on that.
Hudson's gonna look over. Need any help there, Doc?
No, I'm good. And he's like this wiry older guy with that thin little mustache and that like wiry white hair, as he's like pulling at it, and Jed's just like bites down. He's like, "Arr!" As the doctor kind of like cuts into the wound and starts kind of cleaning it out and cutting into it. And Jeremiah, you walk toward the back as you hear Jed just like, "Arr! Arr!"
Yeah, I heard that before. Yep.
And the noise actually wakes the figure in the bed, and you see in the kind of darkness in the back, you see Pharaoh's eyes kind of open up, and he kind of startles a little bit at your approach. What are you doing?
Well, just checking up on you, bud.
I know you. You were at the bar.
I was, and you kind of tackled me there, partner.
I tackled
Brought
you?
To the dock.
What?
Yeah, you kind of did. Uh-huh.
Did you shoot me in the leg?
No, that was the law. Got a little. I know it wasn't.
The lawman shoot.
Got a little out of hand.
I'm gonna have a talk with someone about shooting me in my leg, and when I say I have a talk, it might not be with my mouth.
I mean, look how that went last time.
I don't really remember what happened last time.
I didn't think so. You know anything about Indians, Mr. Pharaoh?
I mean, I've dealt with my fair share when I've had to leave town or travel on the road.
You know, Mr. Jeanette.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff told us something about Pharaoh, didn't he? That he was like looking around the hills.
He alluded to the idea that Pharaoh pokes his nose into other people's business in the hills, and isn't all like that honest a gentleman.
Okay. Mr. Pharaoh,
Yeah.
Jed, the older fellow who came into the bar before you went all loopy, said that you were looking around near his claim. Is that right?
I don't have any business up at Jed's claim. I don't have a claim. I don't have any business up that way.
No, Mr. Stratton don't send you around sometimes? Just take a peek?
Why would I be peeking at other people's claims and stuff like that? That's not my business to be doing that. Do you want to make a psychology roll on him?
Yeah, I do. Sure fucking do.
I can see the face.
Come on, baby. Hey, that's pretty. I'll spend the 8 luck for a fucking hard success. Shoot.
Oh yeah, so Jeremiah, you absolutely don't believe a word of it. Like when he says he doesn't have any business up in the claims, um, you know immediately, like no, that's not true. Like there's just something about the tick of his face, and like he moves it like uncomfortably to kind of resettle himself in the bed, and then when you mention Jack, his eyes sort of flick, like out toward the front, toward the door, and like back at you, and you can see him kind of like dilate a little, and he's just like looking at you with this look like
Interesting. Now, it's fair. I'm gonna be honest with you. You shouldn't lie to a man of God. You know, if you are, I'm not gonna judge. It's not my place. But if you've been doing anything that you might want to confess about, that's between you and I and good Lord. You know, if you've seen anything in the hills that you might want to, talk about, anything that a priest might be able to help you with, something demonic, maybe. something like old Jack's ghosts, anything like that.
I ain't never seen that ghost. I think Jack's telling stories about the ghost.
He might. You see anything else weird up in them hills, Miss Farrow?
No, I ain't never been up that way, so I'm not seeing anything weird if I ain't never going out there, sir. You think? Yeah, you see like a look go across his face, like maybe he's seen things.
God. Can I?
You hear from the next room.
Can I do like, I don't know, a persuasion check to try it and like, you can trust me if you've seen something, Yeah. I'm just a simple priest here to make sure you're all right.
Yeah, I would let you try to persuade him with your man of God
Please,
routine.
Lord. Oh, come on, baby.
Saving his soul. Oh,
fuck yes.
He sort of like leans up on his elbows and in close to you, and you can kind of smell like his breath, and it's not decent smell.
No.
And he gives you a very like serious look, and he says, "Padre, sometimes things that happen in the hills, they're a little too dangerous for those who don't understand. And there's things that people who go out there can't talk about. Because if they do, bad things can happen to them. And you may want to just stay in town where you're in safe, protected area, away from any happenings outside of this town. And going to the claims is probably one of the most dangerous things you can do. Because I don't even think your God can protect you from some of the things that are in the mountains."
We'll see about that. And I think I'm just going to leave.
Jeremiah just walks out. So, Delilah, you ride through town. You get to the Pawheton Original. Now, you know that there's the main entrance, but there's also like at the back door. And there's a place to tie off your horse, Jed. Either out front or out in back. Or you could stop at the stable on your way through if you wanted to drop the horse off there.
I think she would stop at the stable because I think she's actually going to go to the general store.
Okay.
Because she'd actually like to pick up her own horse and all of the bits that go with it. That way she doesn't have to put out Jack now that she has some money of her own.
She has been dying to go shopping since she found all that shit.
No, she was dying to go shopping since Dad gave her the money. But first off, she's going to spend the Owens brothers' money first because they're dead. What do they need the money for anyway?
I mean, that's fair.
And then she specifically And she's gonna gear up. She's gonna buy enough supplies for everybody else, because that just seems like the right use. And then she's specifically gonna pick up an extra book of matches that eventually she'll give to Lucas. But she's gonna specifically pick up that book of matches, new matches for him. And then she will sneak into the back. She'll leave her horse at the stable and sneak into the back, and hope that Jack doesn't see her sneaking in.
All right. So you swing by and you stop at the stables first, and you are returning Jed, and then so you want to purchase your own horse and everything to go with it. So the gentleman at the stables is like, well, I can sell you this fine horse that you rode out on your excursion over the last day, or I have plenty of other horses of varying degree, and he kind of like points along where he's got a few horses kind of stabled up, depending on your need and what you're willing to spend.
Let me tell you this. Money is basically no object at this point.
Get the leather seats.
And second off, that horse was great and all, but I think we need. I would like to start fresh. I would like to start fresh. He's not going to say anything else beyond that to the guy.
I can understand. So he will walk along and he shows you a couple of mares that are like better looking. He's like, if Jack's willing to pay, I'm willing to part with any of these that he's willing to pay for here.
Well, let's just say that Jack is not the one bankrolling it. This Lady Luck has been on my side, which is not entirely a lie to him.
Well, that's it's always good when fortune favors those that deserve it, Delilah. So I am very happy to hear that luck has been on your side. Let me show you off a couple of these. And he takes out like a completely black mare, and then he brings out like a white and black mix, and he says, do any of these look like they're comparable with what you're looking for?
Her eyes are immediately drawn to the black horse.
He says, yes, that's a beautiful, beautiful horse there. That horse goes for $80.
Done.
And it's if you're looking for just a general saddle, we can get them for like $30. I've got these nicer ones for about $60, and they are fine leather.
I think she's gonna go with the nice leather seat and splurge and spend $60 of the Owens brothers' money on a nice saddle, considering she figures they're going to be doing a lot of riding.
All right. So you purchase up your horse, and you buy like your saddlebags and things like that. And he says that they will stable it for you and take care of all of that. And there's just like a monthly fee if you want to keep it stabled. So you're all set with handling that. And then you head over to the Pawheton Trader, which is the trading post that is run by Jack's buddy Mordecai Albertson. And when you walk in, he just smiles and he says, Delilah, how's it going there? Beautiful?
It's going.
What can I do for you today?
I think at this point she's probably actually loosened her corset a little so that it's not like squeezing on her sternum or her chest quite as much, as to alleviate as much of the pain as possible. And she's going to give him a laundry list. I need everything you take out on the trail. Plus, I'd like a set of basic men's clothes, trousers and a shirt for myself. And I need medical supplies.
Okay. He kind of makes up the list, and he's like, okay, I can give you, and he'll like kind of do like the medical supplies and the clothes and stuff up front. He's like, I can get the rest of this all packed up and for you, and get it settled up and have it delivered to the Pawheton Original for you.
Okay, what do you ballpark what you think I owe you?
And he'll kind of figure it out, and he kind of goes through numbers. And with everything, like the clothes and the medical supplies and everything for the road, he's like, I'm going to say that comes out to $30.
Okay, what if I would like to add some dynamite and blasting caps in there while we're at it?
Well, dynamite and blast. What are you, Delilah? What are you?
Don't worry about it.
I mean, dynamite.
She's gonna bat her eyelashes at him a couple of times and be like, "Don't you worry about it."
Oh, all right, but you know how dangerous dynamite can be there. If you mishandle it, you could blow your hand off there, Delilah, and I don't want to be responsible for that.
I think so. Part of her is struggling because she just wants to blow up at him, no pun intended, and be like, "Listen here, I know better than most that dynamite is dangerous." But I think she bites her tongue and goes, I know.
All right.
Well,
I can sell you. It's 25 cents for a stick of dynamite. So how much do you want?
How about a whole crate full?
You want a whole crate full. So there's gonna be 50 sticks in a crate. So that'll be $25 for a crate of 50 sticks of dynamite.
So I owe you $55? Is that the grand total?
He kind of does the match. Yes, $55, Delilah.
And if we want some blasting caps and so that we don't have to be close to it,
that'll cost you another $5 to get the blasting caps and everything for that.
okay, we'll call it an even $60, and I will be out of your hair now.
All right, Delilah. You have yourself a good night. I'll get this all packed up and delivered out to you before the evening's over.
Well, thank you kindly. Can I get one of those bandages from the medical supplies I just bought from you?
Yeah,
right
he'll
away?
give you the clothes and the medical supplies right away. He's gonna package up everything else and have it sent to you. And you head off toward the Pawheton Original. And which way do you go inside? Front door or back door?
She's sneaking in the back.
All right, so just roll me like a stealth to slip in without anybody noticing you.
Well, I put some points in this. I got a 2 out of 5 chance. It's fine, or not.
All right, so you come through the back door and you are trying to slip in and up the side stairs before anyone sees you, and you hear a squeaky little voice be like, "Hey, Delilah, you're back!" As you see Sneaky Pete coming around the corner, and we're gonna stop there because why not?
And then Sneaky Pete pulls out a gun and aims it at Delilah.
Ah, you're out of there.
Read my mind.
Should have just walked through the front door. It might have been easier that way.
Maybe. But yeah, so we'll stop there for tonight with everyone's back in town. Everybody's all split up and doing their own business. I love that. It's a good way to start the next session. So we'll go around and we'll do some plugs and then be on our way tonight. So why don't we start with Brooke?
Hi, my name is Brooke. You can find me at Theater Nerd 221. Today is International GM Day, and therefore I think we have a pretty fantastic storyteller that I appreciate a lot. I have had a lot of fun, even though you've both put my character and myself through some anxiety and mental turmoil.
We've all been there.
But I say that with utmost love. Really, it's been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. And are you doing anything else online?
Yes. Soon, on the opposite Monday of this game, at the end of the month, so 3 weeks from now, I'm going to be starting a D&D 5e campaign that's going to be a twist on the well, not really a twist on the Ravnica campaign, or the Ravnica setting. But everybody's games have all the players in guilds, and I said no guilds. So that should be interesting. Session 0 is next week. I'm super excited. And then normally you can find me on Sunday over at the SS Adventurer, playing D&D 5e, where I play an Asmar Bard. I've been gone for 2 weeks, so don't ask me what's happened. Yes, and the Ravnica show will be on my own channel, but I'm very excited to be
Awesome.
GMing again, as much as I like playing.
Very cool. And what about Dylan?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Dylan. Hi. Hey, you like D&D? 'Cause I have some D&D stuff. On Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Greyhawk channel here on Twitch, you can find me playing Secrets of Castle Greyhawk, where we're exploring D&D's original mega dungeon. Which, from the sounds of it, we're going to try and trap a demigod in his own trap and steal his power for ourselves. So that should be fun.
That won't backfire at all.
You know, I already stole some secrets from his mind, so
That's a guaranteed win right there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
The game
What
just
could
ends.
possibly go wrong? And then Saturdays here on Twitch at Power Score RPG, me and Jeanette are in what used to be Waterdeep Dragon Heist, but we're about to start Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So
You guys
Come
blew
on,
somebody up on Saturday, didn't
He
you?
blew himself
He
up.
did
I
blow
won't second.
himself up.
to be fair,
we love
yeah.
you, Scotty, but yes, he blew himself up.
in the most
I was
badass
in the
way
raid party
possible.
with Welcome to the Party when we came in just as that happened, and I was like, oh. I was like, oh my god, my people, and then like, oh, they're dead.
It's all right. Me and Jeanette's characters are fine. Jeanette's character proposed to her boyfriend. You know,
Nice.
great.
Is that all, Dylan?
Yeah, it's all right.
Awesome. How about Jamie?
I'm Jamie. You can follow me on Twitter and on Sundays at noon on twitch.tv/katieface. I'm the Bear Master for a Honey Heist campaign. We're about halfway through and we took a brief hiatus due to illnesses and other personal stuff, and I believe we're getting back to it this Sunday.
That's what I've heard.
We'll have to confirm that. And here you'll find me, and you may or may not find me somewhere else. Unknown at the moment. But other than that, that is all.
Excellent. And how about Celts?
So yeah, I'm the Celts on Twitter. You can find me here every other Monday, as you guys all well know. I also play every Tuesday on Soul Bear RPG, where we're doing a Crusade of Thorns. It's a Vampire 5e. It's the second Anarch Revolt. So it's set in like 1943. That's every Tuesday. And then it's one of 3 campaigns. The other 2 are told from the Sabbat and Camarilla perspectives. Camarilla runs on Wednesdays. Welcome to the Party RPG at 8 o'clock Eastern. And then again on Saturday for the Sabbat, also on Welcome to the Party at 12 noon Eastern. So check those out. And then I just started an Instagram account for all my painting stuff. So if you want to follow me on there, it's also the Celts. But yeah, I do all my painting, and I'll be putting all my painting stuff up on there.
Awesome.
Aside from that, that's about it. Thank you, Jeanette.
Oh,
Happy GM's Day.
Oh, thanks. Yay.
To all GMs out there.
Yes.
Exactly.
To all the wonderful GMs. I have so many good ones. And yes, yeah, you can find me. I'm Jeanette. I am in Jamie's Honey Heist game where I play a unhinged honey badger thief, and I'm loving it. So hopefully Sunday at noon we'll be back, and I'm looking forward to and also dreading Dungeon of the Mad Mage, because I don't like dungeons with my characters because I love my characters and I don't want anything bad to happen to her, but it will. But that's Saturdays at 3 p.m. and at the end of this month, on I believe it's going to be March 24th, it's a Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we should be having the first session of a new D&D 5e campaign. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be pirates, and I decided to be pirates before I knew the next D&D stuff was going to be about pirate stuff. So, cool. Good timing. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and you can find me on Twitter at JEBriggs79. And I think that's all for this week. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with more fun Cthulhu craziness. So have a good week, everybody. Happy GM's Day to all the GMs. Thank you guys for being awesome players. And we'll catch you all later.
You.
Goodbye.
See you, everybody.
Bye.